this computer. Okay, hey everybody, welcome to this daily success strategy session. I have changed the time. We used to do these Wednesdays at 2 p.m. and we've been doing them. I've been doing something in the Facebook group every day at 12 noon East the last few weeks. And what I did today is I just changed the Zoom link so that you guys can show up live with me. It seems like we get more engagement this way. And we'll kind of stick with this for a little while since everybody's used to being on the Zoom. The recording will be posted, of course, to the Facebook group and to the YouTube playlist, so don't worry about that. And today we have a special guest. You guys probably know this guy. He's in the group a lot, Adam Frank. Hey, Adam.
Hello.
Hey. And what's going on? The reason I asked Adam to come on was that there was a thread in the group. I think everybody can see my screen, right? You can see it, Adam?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure. There's a thread in the group asking how to set up a Google catalog feed ad. Just had it here a second ago.
Yeah, I think it was up a little bit.
Yeah, and this is a can of worms, but something that we know works very well, something that we've been planning to get kind of our heads around and get working with. So we had this feed link laying around. Nick Macy, our Chief Product Officer, had created this actually a few months back, and we played with it a little. And when this thread came over from Jorge, we said, yeah, here, try it out. We threw him the link. And then Adam, you were nice enough to be your hacky self and grab it and try to figure it out too over the past few days. So for those of you watching, this is a little more advanced than what we've been doing maybe. It's a little kind of off the beaten path. It's not basics, but that's what these sessions are for. And what I was hoping Adam could do, maybe he and I together would walk through setting up one of these catalog ads. That's cool. Sound good, Adam?
Yes.
That's the setup. So is it okay? Maybe you're going to tell me what to do. I'll keep control of the screen.
Honestly, otherwise, if you can make me a co-host, I think I got stuff set up on my end too. So
sure. Let's do that then. Let me just see if that'll work after the fact. I might not be able to on the fly here today. I made you a presenter.
Okay. Yeah, because I think if you click on the corner of my picture, there's like a little menu that pops up, and then you do make co-host.
Well, there we go. Thank you.
And that should give me share permission. Yeah.
There we go.
It's so weird not being in control because I usually do the Zoom calls where it's my it's my Zoom, and when I'm a guest and somebody, I'm like I don't know what to do with myself. So.
Yeah. Now, do I hand the share over to you now?
No, I should be able to. I should be able to grab it from here. So. We go. Yeah, this here going.
So yeah, and if you happen to have one of these in your ad account, if you could show people visually before you start what we're talking about, because I think it might feel a little abstract.
So I'm very admittedly very new at this. I'm just kind of checking this out kind of for the first time when I saw the link. I was like, oh, because I just learned about this kind of stuff the other day. So in a nutshell, what happens is we minimize the spaces here. This catalog feature in Facebook is essentially you can use a spreadsheet or a link to a CSV file or an XML file to basically have a preset catalog of your products or services that you can continuously advertise on Facebook through a Facebook ad of whatever you want. And the concept with KV Core here is that provided this link, it's the dynamic listings, so you can promote your office listings, and once they get everything figured out, you can promote your own listings, and it will automatically, because it's coming from an IDX feed, it will automatically update and keep the live listings. So as they close and drop off and new ones come to the market, that listing count is going to be real time. That's the concept that we're dealing with here.
The ad's always up to date. You don't have to go run a new ad every time you get it.
Exactly. This is So in layman's, basically what I would just say is this is a set and forget kind of a situation. So you do it once and it's just walk away and make sure you pay the bill every month. So I got a few in here. So I can do. Let me do view all. I was kind of playing around with different things in here. So the top one here is a manual Google sheet that you can set up as well. So if you have different things, let's say that you have like rentals that you do, you can run an ad for that. And there's the other one where I set these up using the link that Brian found. So I got one here. This is the test one I made for the video, and this one here is the feed coming from the KV Core link. This air here, it's basically the pixel I have connected to this on these two. It's really low count, so like the retargeting isn't going to be there. That's really all that warning means. But I'll show you this one here. So this is coming from my kvCORE site, and looking at the catalog and then data sources, it should show sets. Yeah, right here. So this is the listings. These are the listings that my firm has from kvCORE, and I can click on one of these, and this is the image for the primary image on the MLS. And then this here should be the direct link to my kvCORE. And there's some issues with the connectivity that we've tried to work through. So this displays just fine. So when they click on this picture in your dynamic ad from catalog, they're going to be directed right over to this listing on your kvCORE website. Is how that works.
And they'll be asked to be logged in. We've actually talked a little bit about eventually making kind of a squeeze link builder for this, Adam, so that you can set the opt-in parameters and do the stuff you do there as well.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and on mine right now, I believe I have mine set to immediate. I could have shut it off in the back end just so that we can see things. So that's essentially what this is. Again, this is IDX fed. So all of these listings that are going to there's an agent that is in my firm. She's going to have another listing coming up this week. Later on, it's going to pop in here right away. I don't have to touch anything. So that's kind of the concept of what's going on here.
So
go ahead.
The setup then it's a little hairy, right? Because there's probably about 15 steps to get the ad live.
Yeah, it's not really so bad. It's just like one thing, anything on Facebook, 90% of the issue is navigation, and it's making sure that the information you're putting in is accurate.
Yep.
Easier, like even in coding or anything like that, you have a space, you have a double quote where you need a single quote, like it's going to break the code. So I'm a big fan. What I do, I have some proprietary stuff hidden, but what I do is I'm a big fan of having a Google document, and I just use that as treat that as my notepad to copy and paste things.
Yep.
So this here is a short version of the link that is needed to connect with kvCORE for through the API, which is Application Protocol Interface. So it's basically how Facebook is going to connect and talk to kvCORE. This is the link, and this is the Zapier key you need, and this is mine right in here. Where you find that is going to be in your dashboard. You go to Lead Engine, and then you go over to Lead Dropbox, and it's going to populate up here towards the top. It's this guy right here is what you need to copy. You can either do it old school here or just simply copy here, and then highlight the word Zapier and the link there, and then drop it in, and it's replaced.
So I've included the link in the chat for everybody to use. With this recording, we'll probably give more of a kind of a doc with the steps in it, and give me a few hours to do that, or tomorrow. But yeah, thank you, Adam. That's exactly right there.
But yeah, so that's what we're doing. And then you come over to the catalog manager. I've already done this, so if you have never set up a catalog at first, you're going to see something when you're in your business manager. You should see catalogs or something like that down here in this area. And once you create it, then it's going to be available up here. So when you are going to, let's see here.
I can probably do it out of my account if you want me to show everybody, but.
Okay, yeah, I can. I just did. I can come here because I got a bunch of different stuff in here. So there's an overview here, and we can do a catalog, and you're gonna set up home listing. Yeah, because like from the beginning when you set up the ad manager one, I think you're gonna do
catalog manager.
Yeah. So click on here, and then you do the upload option. So the scheduled feed, if you're going to do the manual one, which is the Google Sheet one I did before, you're going to do this, basically link it to a public shared file. But we're going to do the scheduled feed. You click next. And then the URL, this is the link that we just created with the Zapier key. And then the login information, this is your kvCORE login details.
Good to know. I didn't know that part. So that's good.
Yeah, so right in there, just yeah, because it's gonna have to access your. This is basically part of the permissions. Like you have your Zapier key here, and this is just making sure that if it is password protected, because it's a secure, KVCore is a secure site, that you have this additional step in here. Even it says optional, just do it. It's not a big deal. So that way it'll just automatically log you in if that's required. Just make this as seamless as possible. And click next. And then, so the URL has items that are already in the existing feed. These items will not update. So this is just because I've used this before.
Yeah.
And so you can just do, just do like replace or whatever. Let me see here. Add a secondary separate schedule. Yeah, let's do a second schedule here. See what that does. So I have the other one. Like I think I have it like weekly, but let's say daily at 4:08 p.m. automatic updates. You can do weekly on a specific day at a specific time, and you can do daily as well. You can also do hourly. If I were running this live, I would want this to update hourly. I think the other one is weekly, just because I know it's not live. So let me just see how that goes with this. So we're gonna go through this. It's gonna basically go through its upload kind of session here, and it's gonna basically start pulling the data in from that link. So there's 47 listings right here that are current, matched up to that, and the replacement schedule is going to be Wednesday at 11:30 my time, which is basically in a few minutes. It's going to be uploaded every hour from then on. And these you can check back in your upload in the past here, and sometimes you're going to get failure. You can see how dynamic this is. So 55, 47, then it went to 26 for some reason. Then it was back at 47 for a while, so that's how that goes. The events, I believe, is next, and so there's a pixel here. So you connect to tracking, and it's gonna all your pixels that are in your ad account are gonna be in here, and you just toggle on whichever one that you want to have. So you can toggle me.
So
toggle this.
So when you connect it to a pixel, what's it actually doing? It's attaching the visitor of that feed item to the Facebook visitor, so they know who visited what listing.
Yeah. So it's basically tracking. It's basically tracking people that went to the website. So people that clicked on your dynamic ad, it went to a listing. It's adding them to your Facebook pixel so that you can retarget them later.
Perfect. Does it
so
know?
You basically.
They know they visited that listing. Can you serve them that specific listing later, or are we not that far along yet with the feed?
I haven't figured that out yet exactly how that, because usually the pixel that I have set up is just simply page views. So it's basically just if somebody has looked at my website,
right,
is what that is, and then it'll give you some diagnostics here. If something's bad with the pixel, it'll let you know. And then you can come back over to ads. So we've got the add the home listings done. We've got the setup tracking done. Now we can create our ad directly from here. We can go into the ads manager, but we can click here and it'll go. Now, one point that I had to figure out, because I was really racking my brain about this. So I prefer to use the Brave browser. Yep. And what happens is there's a bunch of this like shields. It actually blocks pixels, so I can't get tracked and stuff like that, which is kind of counterintuitive. And when I clicked on create ad, it popped open a window and it just kept on going and going and going. And it says basically like no accounts will show up or something like that. Well, it was because I had all the shields up for privacy protection on my browser. So at this point, just double check if you're using Chrome or especially with any extensions or Safari or Brave or something else. Make sure that for the Facebook domain, you have all of that stuff turned off, because it will, or I should say, it may interfere. It's likely to interfere with you going forward in this process. So just a word from my experience.
Your dirty, shady cryptocurrency habits with that Brave browser are going to mess up your real estate business.
Yes, exactly. So create ad is going to have, so I have this one here, and then you just click on next. So yeah, that little pop-up is what it showed up, but it didn't actually show any in the drop-down. So the campaign name here, we'll just throw in some junk here. Campaign name, so you name it something custom if you want to. Special ad category is absolutely mandatory.
Yeah.
We're going to select that, and we're going to pick on housing. which is interesting. And one thing that I know they recently added political ads to this, but they don't have it for this dynamic. So I wonder if you can't run that for that. I mean, obviously irrelevant to real estate, but just little things I noticed. So we're going to select housing. Buying type, I always do the auction. We're going to do catalog sales as the campaign objective. It's already filled in. It's going to name the catalog. If you have other catalogs in here, you can pick different catalogs that we have. And you can do A/B tests. I never really do that.
Yeah.
For campaign budget optimization, I am cheap as hell, so I do $5 a day only, and I just let it ride. You can create an ad set. You can name this as ad set. We're gonna, all home listings. That's gonna be the catalog there. Create a new ad. We're gonna put.
And I think the next frontier will be that we'll be able to do this for specific areas, cities, price ranges, things like that. So your ad name might be, Philadelphia.
Yeah, and there's also, if you look in the help article with dynamic ads for Facebook, there's a lot of tags. So you can make one for just listed, just reduced, back to market, pending, continue. You can dress it out pretty well. So there should be a lot of fun options in there. So then once we get to this part, we just save to draft, which means we're still working, we're still building out the ad. It's not published yet. It's not going to get sent to the Facebook bots for review. Now it's going to come over into your actual ad manager. And it's going to look a little different in this one than, this is what I call the edit view, because if you're actually editing one that you're already created or you're duplicating, you're going to see this kind of a 3/4 window. So this is a little bit different. Don't worry about that little red thing right now. So this basically just gives us a review of everything that we had started all of a sudden or before. And you can use a saved audience. Sometimes this will be delayed. You have to kind of play around with this a little bit before anything will actually show up. But we're just going to create a new audience for demo purposes here. This here is limit audience to events within the home listing set. All listing home. I'm not sure I would do that, because it's whatever events that, to me, that seems more like retargeting stuff. So it's like whatever events were already with this catalog is what the audience is gonna, that would be more retargeting stuff. So I would leave that broad. Right now, this is about lead gen. This is about being broad.
I just want to slow that down to make it clear. We're running an ad that is designed to generate leads with fresh people who've never been on our site. And then that checkbox above might be the scenario where you only want to show it to people who've already hit these listings, correct?
Exactly. So for location, I don't really do, my targeting is actually pretty broad. So what I do, I basically work in 2 different areas that I cover. So I'm in Neenah, and I also drop a pin near Green Bay. And so real quick, with the restrictions on targeting for location, you're basically, minimum you can do is a 15-mile pin. Just deal with it, work around it. Yeah. I have another agent, so what I do is I help agents in these areas get some leads. And I can't remember what little small town I can target over here, but you can also manually drop a pin by clicking on this box down here. And then I just kind of try and get real close to that road there. And I'm basically going to hit, there's a Sheboygan out here in Two Rivers. So I want to kind of basically get that over here. I can actually drop another one a little bit just to make sure I get the outskirts. And then I can drop this other one, or get rid of the other one here. So I kind of have like a very ugly, kind of like a slow cousin of a Venn diagram here. And that's all I do. I just want to get those areas. And then you can't mess around with any of these. Detail, as far as detail stuff goes, some people they'll do Realtor and Zillow and everything else. I generally don't do that.
Yeah. For
languages, I'll do English all. There you go. And it does, you can kind of keep your meter over here and kind of, keep an eye on your audience. For detailed stuff, pare it down. We got 500,000 that we're targeting. That's kind of a lot. A lot of your detailed options are gone now. I always just kind of use a suggestion. So, okay, sure, let's do real estate, house hunting, because this is generally going to be for a buyer ad. Starter home is a good one. So I usually just use a few of these, and we're getting down to about 250,000 people.
Just to hone it down more.
Just to get it. And some of these just kind of like, look at these a little bit, and I never do like the portals really, the Zillow and Trulia and stuff, because a lot of times they don't even change. Like, 240, okay, with that added, a few people, it doesn't really have that much of an impact. So I generally keep it pretty broad, and it's kind of the budget is really going to kind of keep things reasonable. So I do a very, very minimal there. I do manual placements, and so what I do is I try and stay on Facebook as much as possible, obviously. So I take away the external apps and sites.
Yep.
I take away the in article. I want to do the search, because if they search anything in Facebook related to this, especially, I hope that my ad will show up. The in stream for videos, I played around with this before with just normal ads, and I haven't really gotten too much from that. So this is just my pairing as I do the feeds.
Just the news feed, basically.
The stories and the searching.
Cool.
And I put it on Facebook and Instagram. The one thing that's probably going to yell at me, I got to make sure that on the next screen, if it yells at you about you can't put it on Instagram, make sure you have a profile picture on your Instagram. I have two different Instagrams, and one of them just doesn't have a profile picture on there. And then so once we get there, the let's see here, all the way down to the bottom, when we're going to come over here to the actual ad part itself. And then normally when you're setting an ad, you're not using this particular ad builder. This is usually for if you want to check out or make changes to an ad that you already created.
Yeah.
So if this is looking a little bit different, that's why. When you create an ad from scratch, that's not a dynamic ad. These are going to basically be like kind of one page at a time kind of thing. So it's instead of having to come down to this accordion menu, it's going to be basically 3 to 4 pages. So this right here is where it's going to usually yell at me when I said, don't worry about that red thing right here. This is what happens. So this is one of my Instagram accounts that I don't have a profile picture, and you need to have a profile picture to run ads on Instagram. So I just picked that one there. You want to have the carousel so people can have fun clicking through everything. And then the ad creative. So it's going to be the cards here. We can do a single image. Slideshow is kind of fun, because people like moving objects.
It starts to move on its own, right? Is that what it
Yep.
does? Yeah.
Yep. It's basically it takes the still. So it's creating a looping video for each card using multiple images per item. Is the situation. And then the headline there is, I would just leave this here. Just get the listing there and leave that here. Your primary text, I don't really want to cover too much into ad copy and stuff like that, but you just put your jazz in there. Your see more URL, grab your kvCORE website from there. Yeah,
it's interesting. So you could have each catalog item links to that specific listing, but you could also, in your ad copy, be making an offer, like say all my favorite deals right now, and drive out to a landing page if you wanted to with the CMOS.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And something like this, because these are all my firm's listings. Okay. Let's say that I have a landing page built up where I have a list of virtual tours, right? Just something to get people to actually go to the website, right? Got to be creative about it. So yeah, you could do a lot with this with this call to action, especially if you're writing it for your firm as it is. You can take a bunch of your agents and kind of make a few different short videos, and then tie them together. I'm talking like 30 to 60 seconds tops, and put that on like a video view landing page where you basically have like, you're kind of like introducing all the different agents in your firm to the buyers in the area, and then everybody that's in your team, in your firm, can use the video on an ad like this in the listings, and kind of collaborate that way. So the see more display link, if you want to show on the last carousel card, that can be a link to your that can be a link, a different link on here to see anything else. That's going to be the very last one is going to be that, you know, see more, click here, kind of a call to action. So you can have it where the see more URL is just your home page, or you can have this here go to specific listings. So if you have, say you create like a squeeze page on your website with no registration because you're getting the information here, you can set it up. So let's say that we're doing, you know, we can basically just grab this link here and put it in as the deep link to a website. And then the last carousel card is going to, I'm sorry, should have put it up here. The see more link display is going to go to this link here. And then this one here is the, when they go down to the shop now stuff, that's going to be the, this link here is going to be this call to action button. This see more display is going to be the very last one on the carousel, if that makes sense. I don't really mess around with that deep link stuff. Call to action, always do learn more. Yeah. When you really do anything of I mean, you know, like signing up or where's the other one, like that shop now stuff. People, it just turned, it's just psychology. People don't like that.
Did you see the new open link one there? I've never seen that one. All the way down at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. So it's interesting language for that. Instead of, you know, click here, it's open link. Like, that's odd.
A dev built that.
Yeah.
They let the developers decide again on the text.
Right, exactly. So, and then it just confirms the Facebook pixel, and the green dot means that you're all good to go. You can set up different app events. I've never really done this. This is if you're setting them, you know, setting them. I just want people, I just want people to go do stuff so that I can get them on the pixel and retarget them later on.
Can you hover over the deep link info icon up there again? We have a question about what it is, and I just want to give the right. This is, yeah, I thought that's what that was. That's actually for the mobile app.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a mobile app, so it's actually a little less relevant here for what.
Yep.
So, yep, don't worry about it.
Yeah, like I said, keep it simple. All you're looking to do is get basically an IDX fed catalog on Facebook. Get some buyer leads. Get a good call to action so that, you know, they check this out. And obviously, when this gets built out and we have a link to display your own listings, instead you can do that so that all your listings are in an ad. And you can also, as a backup, kind of like on the listing carousel on the home page, when you have the my listings, if you don't have listings currently, it's going to default to your brokerage listings. And that's what, you know, you can do the same thing here where you can have essentially two different catalogs, two different ads, and you can maybe run one that's all your brokerage firm listings, and then have a separate one run a little bit different that's your own listings. And then you can retarget from either one when you're adding. So people that are coming from, people that have seen this ad, you can retarget to to your broker listings. People that have seen the broker listings, they can get sent over to view yours as well. So you can kind of play around with the different things like that. And unfortunately, we can only create one pixel per ad account. You used to be able to create a couple of them, which is nice because, well, yeah, I want a pixel for this page and this page and this page and this activity, and you just track them that way. So now it's all in the page events. When you're setting up your pixel, you have to use the same code for the pixel as far as the pixel number, but you can change the event. So if you want to make a pixel with registration, a picture with page views, a picture with link clicks, you just change the code basically the code within the code. You have to use your same pixel number, and that's not in here. That's advanced stuff. So
this is a little more advanced, this section. I mean, the people who understand what conversion tracking is and why you want to report conversion in Facebook. But for the 80% here, the 90% is the fact that you can get an evergreen ad live that is constantly updated with new listings.
Yep. And that's the biggest takeaway here is it's, you know, one link. And again, you know, when you set this up, you go to publish it and you don't really have to touch anything unless there's an issue that pops up somehow. And this is a set it and forget it kind of a situation where you know, set it up like this, click on publish, it'll get put into review. And then usually I've had it as fast as 5 minutes. I've had it as long as like 48 hours, but generally within 2 business days or so, the bots are going to run and scan. All they're doing is like in a housing ad, making sure I'm not using any language in my ad copy or hidden images in the photos where it could be construed as targeting or discrimination against a particular protected class. I had one picture one time where I didn't even think about it. It was a gentleman handing, just kind of like reaching out with a set of keys, and it had the pride rainbow on the keychain. I just thought it was cool, colorful, whatever. I didn't realize, so my ad was rejected because of that. So I had to change out that photo because it detected that that was a pride logo, and it could have been construed as being targeting or discrimination against, you know, a certain protected class. So they do get finicky. Sometimes they do make mistakes, but for the most part, just keep it broad, keep it cool, you know, and you'll be fine. So once you get to this point, it's in draft up here, you can see. Once you get to this point, if you want to keep it in draft, you can click away from here and it'll just save it and it won't put it for review. Once you click publish, which I'm going to do now, this is basically going to send everything. It's going to go through the thinking process. It's going to go through and set it to be put in front of the review bots. And then whenever it's approved, it will be, you know, basically up and running.
Yeah.
So there's confirmation. Now you can see it's in review. And I can take this away. But I'll just click there and we're good to go.
Yeah. Great. And sorry for any audio issues, everybody. Generally with Zoom and Facebook, Facebook Ads Manager, this happens all the time. So Adam broke up a little for me. If he did for you, hopefully it shows up on the replay. Okay. But Adam, that was awesome.
I should have hooked up. I have an Ethernet thing too, because I think what happens is it's I'm doing this over Wi-Fi. Yeah. And I think it just kind of strains the bandwidth a little bit. So yeah, I apologize for that. But yeah, I should have plugged in. It was kind of a last minute jump on here too. So I should have plugged in my my Ethernet cable to my computer. So
I really want to thank you because you saved me. I had it on my list of things to figure out today, like spend an hour figuring this out. Now I don't need to. Now I know how to do it. So
yeah, now it's just getting, you know, that's the mechanics. Like I said, like when you posted that link, I just took it and ran with it. Yeah. So I'm by no means an expert. Like people ask me all the time, hey, can you help me set this up? Like I can tell you the basics, but I'm not going to do this for people because I'm not that skilled with it. So, but yeah, that's kind of like the nuts and bolts of the mechanics. And we're basically expecting to have you fine tune everything, and it should be available by noon tomorrow Eastern time to be all fixed. And
just tell Nick Macy there on Facebook. He's actually our chief product guy, so I'm impressed that he's been taking a little bit on the side, actually building this out himself. So it's been one of those cool things where we're building it on the fly. And it's really nice to have somebody in the community like you. You know, thank you for all your participation, who just goes ahead and saves me a bunch of time and goes and figures it all out. So
yeah, I mean, you know me. I mean, I'm always on the CRM doing stuff. So it's nice to be able to help figure things out. And yeah, I like figuring out new tricks. Especially I'm kind of an automation junkie. So I'm doing, you know, whether it's the smart campaigns using the hashtags and the system statuses to automatically move leads around, you know, between the different campaigns and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's fun for me. So
yeah, and guys, definitely, you know, feel free. I know Adam, you provide some services that are legit, so I'll just endorse you here. We don't officially have you in the marketplace, where I'm comfortable as a thank you plugging you a little bit here for doing this today. So Adam in the Facebook, feel free to reach out to him. The last thing I'll mention is that this is maybe a little bit advanced, but also I think really worth doing and figuring out, because it is going to keep your company's brand in a Facebook page and all of your listings constantly being exposed. The clicks are going to go through to your website. You might not get the same lead flow as you get with Property Boost. If I can plug Property Boost, that would be where you want to drill into a specific listing. But this, I think, is something that every team, every brokerage should probably just have run. So really cool stuff, Adam. Thank you. I'll open it up to questions for Adam or for me here for a minute. There's a question. Yeah, did you initiate Ed from KV Core Facebook? Definitely from Facebook. He went right to the catalog section. Maybe I'll just show that really quickly at the end here, as if we're new, because you had already done that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to Business Tools right here, and then if you scroll down, there's this catalog manager.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
Yep. And then this is the kind of the part Adam skipped because he had already done it. And then I'm going to click Create Catalog right here, I believe. See, look, I had already tried this months back. I just noticed.
Yeah, and then you got to click on real estate right there.
Yep.
It's already going to do home listings next, and then you kind of you can pick owner and kind of go from there. So.
And then this will take you to what Adam showed. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, this part of it was actually pretty easy, and I don't like having to look at a screen more than 5 seconds and not knowing what to do next, kind of a thing. But yeah, no, biggest thing here is go into the suggestions is add your items in bulk. You have to add it first before you create the ads.
Yeah, and then this is where you plug that link in for your data source. So what I'll do with the replay of this, we'll probably put it in a help doc at help.insiderrealestate.com. We'll have
if you click on data sources again, where it's highlighted on the left there, sometimes you have to do it. You have to click it again, and then it will finally upload. There's a little quirks I found in here. So if something doesn't show up, it's kind of like the old school. The Google Sheets one is pretty nice. I got that. So for manual stuff, where if if in the meantime, when you have your own listings, and the link that Ryan has right here is for your office listings, is how that's going to pull in. And once they get that figured out for the individual one, it'll be good. But in the meantime, you can use a Google Sheet, turn the privacy to public, and then use that Google Sheet to essentially do that. And then all you need to do when you get a new listing, and they have a template in there that you need to download, and you have to download that first, then create the Google Sheet, and you need to have the headers, and it won't recognize the sheet unless you have the headers. And then once you make the Google Sheet and connect that, then all you need to do is go to that Google Sheet all the time and just update the row with your new listing information. And then when something is sold, you just delete the row and everything. So that's how it's dynamic. It's what I call semi-automatic, where you have to just add it to the spreadsheet and it connects from there. But what the nice thing is with this link through the API that KV Core provides, that is basically taking right from the IDX feed files and uploading. That's the preferred method of doing it. Just be aware there are other methods that do require, just like lead generation. KV Core is not a passive lead generation platform. You have to actually use it. So just be aware of that. It's not a set and forget with the Google Sheet version. You actually have to manually manage and update that, but it goes from there. So
great. So I just did it all again in my screen for the first time. Upload now. I'm done.
So yeah, you can do click on the listings there. And then you can also click on, so that'll kind of preview, and then click on one of these listings and make sure this is where you check your link to make sure that everything is set up. And then it's right down below the URL. Click that one, should go right to your KV Core. So yeah, everything looks good. And then you close that window, and then up in you click on settings right there, and that's where you can change like your currency things. You can change your name. You can do data feed rules and your scheduling. Where I would with this dynamic stuff, the best way to do it is just update every hour. It's going to basically check. It's going to ping that link every hour and go from there. So.
And then I saw you do it a minute ago, but just to reiterate for everybody, repetition is good. Where do I go to kick the ad off from here?
Okay, so for next you're going to do events underneath the data sources. And then that's where you're going to set up your tracking to your pixel. And you're going to select on the website. If you don't have one already set up for it, it'll take you to set it up.
Okay. That's kind of good. We're doing it twice.
Right. Yeah, because it's a lot of information. Yeah. So you're probably going to know what to do here. So
zooming through here.
Yep.
Here, I'm just going to let it do this. I don't see any other questions. So, anybody who's still on, if you want to drop off, but I figured why not just run through it one more time.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I was gonna say you better do that manual one. If you have to use a partner, Ryan, we got to have a conversation.
yeah, I got it. It's funny. I thought I'd already had a Pixel installed, but
Hmm.
that's basically it here. Install the code manually. I'll just pop it in. I think maybe I picked my broker's Pixel.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm in the brokerage Facebook account, not mine. That's why I'm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um, I'll have to set this up for her as soon as she sees this. So might as well
Hmm.
get the work done here. So this is where the Pixel goes.
Once
So
it,
Greg,
yeah, once get the system some coffee.
yeah, and Greg's saying, definitely can't find out how you got to those screens. So you'll be able to watch it in the replay. We're clicking through fast here, but the idea here is with the replays, you just pause it, go back a little bit if you need to. But basically, there's like a hamburger menu. It used to be a hamburger. It's like a dial pad up the top left here that you click.
Mhm.
It can take you to the catalog stuff. So
Yeah, the little I call it dot grid because it's like a little dot grid thing there. But yeah, basically like whenever you're doing especially like advanced things like this, what I always like when I train agents and show them to do stuff, what I always say is just you grab a drink, watch the video from start to finish first,
yep,
then watch it again, and then do it side by side so that you can kind of have a working knowledge at first of what we're talking about. So when we say click on this, click on that, you're good to go from there. So you might have to put S in there for the after the TTP.
surprised this isn't just picking it up for me.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, so it may be that I logged into I logged into my personal Facebook account, so my ad account. But anyway, I don't want to keep everybody too long. That's basically the flow
Yeah,
here.
yeah, we can go. Yeah, once you have your pick, yeah, because I'm gonna say you can back out of that pixel area or whatever, and once you go once you have um, your catalog made, you basically connect your pixel, which you can see earlier in the video that we did here, and
Yep.
then you can once that's done, then you can click on the add area and um, go from I think if you just jump back into the click on your dot grid up there underneath the house, the
I'm
little
sorry.
hammer in the
Oh,
middle.
oh, oh, oh.
Yeah, right up there, and then do your should be able to go to your oh yeah because you're I don't think you oh catalog manager right there bottom row in the center
Oh,
area.
okay.
Yeah, jump back in there and then grab your catalog from before.
Hey, Greg, this is do it yourself. We're not currently providing follow up, but you can post in the group if you have questions. Just post in the group or comment when we post the replay.
Yes, then you were doing the Forever Florida one, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just click on the name for that, and that'll bring you up to where we were, I think. Yep. So then so basically we're going to pretend that we got the catalog is in here. And of course you're going to have, it's going to yell at you about the pixel thing, which we won't deal with right now. But
yep.
Once you have your catalog made, you got your pixel thing, you can click on the ads right there on the, you can either click on it in the center or on the left-hand side, and it will, basically get you, kind of pop up. You can kind of get started here. So you got your home listings done, your setup tracking done. Now you're going to create your ad. You click on that button, select your ad account, and then go from there. And then it might throw you off a little bit because if your catalog here isn't matched to one that you manage, to an ad account that you manage, it may kind of throw it off. Like if you don't have permission from this catalog owner for your ad account, it's gonna throw you off for connecting that. So because I have real estate.
That's what's happening here, and I have a lot going on, so I'll figure.
Yeah, because I have my real estate ad account, and I also have like my CRM marketing business has an account, and I run everything through my CRM marketing business, even for my own real estate business. So I'm running ads for the CRM stuff, and then for my own real estate business. So I always get caught up because I'm like, why is this work? I was like, oh, that's right, I need to add permission for everything. So. Yeah, I would. Most people aren't going to run into that. It's just going to automatically come up with your real estate stuff. So it'll be fine.
Yep. So everybody who's asking, the replay of this will be in the group, and this is not something that you should use our support team for. This is an experimental feature. Just use the Facebook group. Say, hey, if you run into anything, just ask. You can tag me or Adam. Just tag me. But just post. There's a thread in there about this that you can find up toward the top if you want to add to that. But basically, the attitude with all this stuff is you need to have sort of a try it out and see mentality, and you got to struggle through and click around. And the more willing you are to do that, the easier this stuff becomes. And the trainings like this with Adam here, Adam's nice enough to show us what he did, but just keep that in mind as you do it. Just struggle through. If you run into roadblocks, just go ask the question, and you should be able to set this up.
Yep.
I could see us, we may offer this as an ad service in the future, but I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking, well, this is fairly easy to do. Kind of.
Yeah. Especially if it's, it might be something, obviously something to add on to your broker accounts to just say, hey, we can basically set this up so that you're and just run it for the brokerage for company leads, essentially doing it that way. But yeah, it's fairly easy once you, like I said, if you follow the steps in order and your input of your data and links and everything else and pixels are correct, it's actually not bad. I can probably do this myself in maybe 15 minutes or so now, just kind of running it from scratch and going through. But again, the beauty of it is, and once you have the catalog connected, you can run all sorts of different ads, right? So you can take this catalog and you can create an ad set looking for buyers, right? So hey, here's my listings right now, and call me to schedule a private showing. You can take the same catalog and you can run that for seller lead generation to say, look at all the homes that ABC Realty is has listed right now. Wouldn't you love to see yours come up here? This is be up here too. This is what we do for our sellers. Contact me, and just, you can do a lot of different things with this catalog by running different ads and just changing up your ad copy to change the message of how you want to portray this information. Buyers, sellers, all that kind of stuff.
And the big why behind this is these get great click-through. We should have mentioned that up front, but we know that the catalog ads with a bunch of different listing pictures do really well on Facebook in terms of cost per click. So.
Yeah, this is basically the equivalent of, like, I'm 39 years old, and if I walk through the toy section, I'm going to hit a few buttons in the Try Me Now toys. That's what people do. They come on here. When you have carousels, they're going to start clicking. People love to click all over the place. So they're very, very, very good for people to click and like and react and that kind of stuff.
So Adam, thanks again. Everybody who's watching live, thank you for being here and for all your questions. We'll get the replay posted as soon as possible. We'll be doing these every Tuesday. I have it set up for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 12. We'll do it here in Zoom instead of Facebook Live because there's far more interaction. Adam, I look forward to having you here again, and just would invite anybody, if you see Adam in the group, feel free to reach out to him. You don't mind that, Adam, right? You're kind of...
Yeah, I have nothing better to do than help people. So no, I like it. Yeah, if you need help with KV Core stuff, reach out to me. I do charge for some things, but quick help here and there. There is a point where you're going to have to get your wallet out. I'll be very clear about that. But I'm happy to help. I post a lot in the group and that kind of stuff. So, but I do offer free advice, and I am for hire for certain things. So.
I've seen your fees; they're reasonable. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thanks again, Adam, and we'll get this replay live as soon as possible. And see you tomorrow on the next set.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. Bye.